Welcome back to the Business Ignite podcast, where we light the fire for business growth and marketing success. Your hosts, Ethan Walker and Samantha Reed, bring you the latest trends, expert insights, and actionable strategies to fuel your business journey. Let's ignite your potential.
All right, entrepreneurs, we're diving deep today on Business Ignite into when is the right time to start a blog for your business.
Okay.
We've got this article here from 95 Visual,
Right.
a digital marketing agency, and they're tackling this question head on.
Hmm.
What really grabbed my attention was how they connect blogging to building trust with customers boosting your SEO
Right.
and creating those all-important connections.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, definitely.
What jumped out at you?
Well, one thing that really fascinated me was how they just debunk this myth of when, right out of the gate,
Okay.
they pretty much say the best time to start a blog was yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday line too.
Yeah.
A little dramatic.
A little bit.
But I get the point.
Yeah.
They do make a good case for why getting started sooner than later really makes a difference.
Right.
But why is that?
Well, if you think about it from a customer's perspective, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Today's customers are savvy,
Mhm.
They do their research. And a blog can be a powerful tool to build credibility and show that you're not just about the hard sell.
Right.
You're offering valuable content, sharing your expertise,
Okay.
and establishing yourself as a thought leader in your industry.
So it's about building that know, like, and trust factor we always talk about on Business Ignite.
Absolutely.
Got it.
And blogging consistently over time just contributes to that in a big way.
Okay.
Each post is like another layer of trust, demonstrating your commitment to providing value to your audience.
Okay.
It's like building a solid foundation for a skyscraper.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
You need those bricks laid one by one.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of building, I was intrigued by how the 95 Visual article highlighted SEO.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned that Google just loves sites with frequently updated content.
Yeah,
And a blog is the perfect way to achieve that.
right.
I remember struggling with SEO when I first launched my business.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like a whole other language.
It can feel like a black box sometimes, for sure. But the article does break it down nicely.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Every time you publish a new blog post,
Mm.
you're sending a signal to Google that your website is active and relevant.
Okay.
And the more active and relevant your site appears,
Yeah.
the higher you'll rank in those search results.
So it's not just about Google loving fresh content. It's about making it easier for potential customers to find you.
Exactly. It's
Oh.
about raising your hand in that crowded digital marketplace saying, hey, I'm here and I have something valuable to offer.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I remember they had this really interesting tip about using long-tail keywords in your blog posts.
Yes.
Which are those longer and more specific phrases that people actually search for.
Right.
Long-tail keywords.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. So let's say you're a fitness coach.
Okay.
Instead of just targeting the keyword fitness, which is super competitive,
Right.
you might go after a long tail keyword like best at home workout routine for busy moms.
Right.
So it's much more specific. So
Mhm.
you're more likely to attract the exact people looking for your services.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about finding those niche audiences who are actively searching for solutions that you offer.
Right.
Okay, so we've covered trust and SEO,
Mm-hmm.
but the 95 Visual article also emphasized another benefit of blogging, creating connection with your audience.
Yes.
What's their take on that?
Well, they caution against making your blog post too salesy,
Okay.
which I think is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
People can smell a sales pitch a mile away,
Yeah,
and it instantly puts them on guard.
right.
A blog is an opportunity to step away from that and connect with your audience on a more human level.
You know, that reminds me of a blog post I wrote a while back about the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make.
Oh, I remember that one.
You do?
It was fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you shared some really vulnerable personal experiences that resonated with so many people.
Yeah, I think it resonated because it wasn't just me lecturing from a pedestal. I was sharing my own struggles and lessons learned,
Mm-hmm.
which made it feel more relatable and authentic.
And that authenticity is what fosters those genuine connections.
Yeah.
The 95 Visual article really stressed the importance of providing value to your audience, sharing your expertise,
Mm-hmm.
addressing their pain points, and positioning yourself as a resource rather than just another salesperson.
I like that, positioning yourself as a resource.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from that me mentality to a how can I help you mindset.
Precisely.
Okay.
And when you approach blogging with that mindset, it stops being just a marketing tactic.
Right.
And it becomes this powerful tool for building meaningful relationships with your audience.
And those relationships can lead to loyal customers, brand advocates,
Yes.
and ultimately business growth. It all ties back to that Business Ignite mission.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
It's about creating that win-win situation where you're providing valuable content that helps your audience while simultaneously growing your business.
So how can we put this into action? The 95 Visual article mentions some practical steps for setting up a blog. They talk about having a posting schedule and a content plan.
Right.
Things that probably feel overwhelming to a new blogger.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But the beauty of blogging is that you can start small
Okay.
and scale up as you gain confidence and momentum.
Yeah.
You don't have to be churning out 5 blog posts a week right out of the gate.
So maybe start with once a week or even once a month.
Exactly. Find a rhythm that feels sustainable for you and your schedule.
Okay.
And when it comes to planning your content, think about the questions your customers are asking, the challenges they're facing, the topics they're most interested in.
Okay.
Tailoring your content to those needs will keep your audience engaged and coming back for more.
So it's about being strategic and intentional with your content, not just randomly throwing things out there and hoping they stick.
Exactly. A little bit of planning goes a long way in ensuring that your blog is actually achieving its intended purpose.
Yeah.
And one thing that can really help with that strategic planning is having a content calendar.
A content calendar, what's that?
It's basically like a visual roadmap of your blog content.
Yeah.
You can map out your topics in advance, schedule your publishing dates, and even track which long-tail keywords you're targeting for each post.
Oh, so it's a way to stay organized and consistent with your blogging efforts.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of content creation and helps you stay on track with your blogging goals.
Now, the article also mentions the option of outsourcing content creation.
Right.
Is that something you would recommend?
It really depends on your individual situation and resources.
Okay.
If writing isn't your strong suit or you simply don't have the time to dedicate to blogging, outsourcing can be a great option.
But it probably comes with a cost, right?
Of course, you're essentially investing in someone else's expertise and time.
Right.
But it can be a worthwhile investment if it frees you up to focus on other aspects of your business.
So it's about weighing the pros and cons and figuring out what makes the most sense for your business.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
It's about finding the approach that aligns with your goals, your budget, and your available resources.
You know, this whole conversation about blogging is making me think back to when I first started my business.
Oh, yeah.
I was so hesitant to start a blog. I thought it was going to be this huge, time-consuming undertaking.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's really not as daunting as it seems.
Yeah, I wish I'd started sooner.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like I had to have everything perfect before I hit publish on that first post.
I think that's a common fear, that fear of imperfection.
Right.
But here's the thing. Your blog doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
It just has to be authentic and valuable to your audience.
So it's more important to just get started and find your groove as you go along.
Absolutely. Don't let perfection be the enemy of progress.
Like that.
The more you blog, the better you'll get at it. And who knows? You might even discover a hidden talent for writing you never knew you had.
Speaking of discovering talents, the 95 Visual article mentions that Google likes to see a diverse range of content on a website.
Yes.
Does that mean we should be doing more than just writing blog posts?
Absolutely. Variety is the spice of life, as they say, and it's also the spice of a successful content strategy.
So what other types of content could we be creating?
Well, think beyond the traditional blog post. Maybe you create a video series demonstrating your expertise, or record podcasts like this one, or even host a webinar on a topic relevant to your audience.
So it's about getting creative and finding different ways to engage our audience.
Exactly, and don't be afraid to experiment and see what resonates best with your target market. The key is to provide value in a format that they find engaging and accessible.
This is all great advice, but I have to admit, I still feel a little overwhelmed by the thought of creating all this content. Any tips for making it feel less daunting?
One strategy that I found really helpful is to repurpose your existing content.
Okay.
So for example, let's say you have a really popular blog post that's getting a lot of traffic. You could turn that blog post into a video, an infographic, or even a series of social media posts.
Wow. So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Repurposing content allows you to maximize the reach and impact of your existing work without starting from scratch every time.
That's a great tip. It's all about finding ways to streamline that content creation process and make it more efficient.
Right.
Now, one thing we haven't touched on yet is promoting your blog content.
Yeah.
The 95 Visual article had some advice on that, right?
Yes, they emphasize using social media to amplify your reach.
Okay.
Think of it as extending the conversation beyond your blog.
So we're not just hitting publish and hoping people stumble upon our masterpiece.
Exactly. You have to actively promote your content and get it in front of the right people. Social media is a powerful tool for that. You can share snippets, quotes, visuals, and link back to your blog.
I've noticed a lot of businesses using short video clips on social media to promote their blog posts.
Yeah.
Is that a good strategy?
Short videos can be incredibly effective. They're eye-catching, engaging, and easily shareable.
Okay.
You can create a quick teaser video that highlights the key takeaways from your blog post and encourages people to click through to read the full article.
So it's all about creating that curiosity and giving people a taste of what they'll get if they invest the time to read the whole post.
Precisely. And remember, different social media platforms lend themselves to different types of content.
Right.
A visually driven platform like Instagram might be better for sharing images and short videos,
Okay.
while a platform like Twitter might be more suited for sharing quick thoughts and links.
So it's about adapting your content to the platform and the audience you're trying to reach.
Absolutely. You want to meet your audience where they are and provide them with content in a format that they're most likely to engage with.
This whole conversation has me thinking about how we can apply these blogging principles to Business Ignite itself.
Yeah.
We have a blog on our website, but I think we could be doing more to promote it and engage our listeners.
I completely agree. We have such a wealth of knowledge and insights to share.
Yeah.
And our blog is the perfect platform for that.
Maybe we could start incorporating more blog-related discussions into our podcast episodes like we're doing today.
That's a great idea. We could highlight a recent blog post or even invite guest bloggers to join us for a conversation.
And we could definitely be more strategic about promoting our blog content on social media using those eye-catching visuals and short videos you mentioned.
Yes, and we could even encourage our listeners to share their thoughts and questions about our blog posts on social media,
Okay.
fostering that sense of community that the 95 Visual article talked about.
That's fantastic. I'm already feeling inspired to take our blogging game to the next level.
Me too.
Now, the 95 Visual article doesn't explicitly address this, but I think it's an important question for our Business Ignite listeners.
You're okay.
How can we make our blog content stand out in a crowded online space?
That's a great question, and it's more relevant than ever with so much content vying for attention. One thing that comes to mind is finding your unique voice and perspective. What can you offer that no one else can?
Right.
What makes your business and your story special?
I think that's where a lot of businesses get stuck. They try to emulate what everyone else is doing instead of embracing their own unique quirks and personality.
Right, and that's what makes you memorable and relatable.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to let your personality shine through in your writing. Share your behind-the-scenes stories, your struggles, your triumphs. People connect with authenticity.
And I think it's about finding that sweet spot between providing valuable information and entertaining your audience.
Yes.
You want to keep them coming back for more.
Absolutely, and that might mean experimenting with different formats and styles of content.
Great.
Maybe you incorporate humor or storytelling or even a touch of controversy. The key is to keep your audience engaged and wanting more.
This has been such an insightful conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered so much ground, from the why to the how of business blogging, and even some actionable tips for making your blog stand out.
Absolutely.
Well,
We only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of blogging strategies and techniques out there, but I think the most important takeaway is to just get started.
action over perfection, right?
Exactly. Don't let the fear of not being perfect hold you back. The most important thing is to take that first step and start creating.
So to all our Business Ignite listeners out there, if you haven't started a blog yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Now is the time to take that leap and ignite your online presence.
Share your expertise, connect with your audience, and watch your business grow.
And until next time, keep those business fires burning bright.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business Ignite podcast, where we fuel your business growth and marketing success. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to rate and review us. It does help others find the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Business Ignite Podcast and share this episode with a friend. Keep the fire burning, and remember, your success is just one strategy away. Until next time, stay ignited.